You know, the thing that really pisses me off is that people walk around with this chip on their shoulder like they have some sort of moral superiority over everybody else. And look, I'm not pointing the finger at lefties or at righties or at Democrats or at Republicans. It's clear that getting all of us to fight amongst ourselves has proven to be the exact strategy that they deployed over and over again for hundreds of years without us even ever seeming to notice. And it's all out in the open now. It's clear who we're supposed to be against. We are governed by demons. And I don't know how much you know about all this stuff, but it is your duty and responsibility to protect yourself and your family from these satanic PDF files who think of you as subhuman scum. That's what they think of you. Subhuman scum. And let me just say this. I hate making these videos. But if this stuff gets swept under the rug, nothing is ever going to change. And I'll tell you a few other things that have been on my mind, because while we all can see who the perpetrators are now and we can agree on it, there are still scummy crumbs on the table that need to be confronted. All roads lead to the head of a snake, the same snake in this game, and it's clear. I'll tell you something else. Kids never asked for drag queens reading to them. Kids never asked to be educated on your stupid fucking pronouns. Kids never asked to learn about gender fluidity. Sick-minded, freaky adults did all of those things. And nobody is ever going to convince me of anything different. Leave the kids alone. And another thing. If you're wondering why the government is releasing the Epstein files on a slow drip while 3 million of them are still under lock and key, let me explain something to you real quick. If you understand the concept of the pandemic being orchestrated to kill off all of the poor people with an mRNA jab, it's in the Epstein files. Bill Gates talking to Jeffrey Epstein about it at length. If you understand that, then you'll understand what I'm going to tell you here. After Pam Bondi told you that the files were on her desk, and then she conveniently told you that they don't exist, and then she and Kash Patel lied to your face and told you that there was no credible evidence of any wrongdoing and how there's no client list that's worth releasing. Remember that? And then Dan Bongino resigned his position as deputy director of the FBI because of what he saw in those Epstein files and how nothing was being done with them. And then DJT came right out and he told you that it was all a hoax for week after week after week. And then the Izzies, they started dropping the files, right? Just to be sure that DJT knew that he's under their thumb. And now he's telling you to your face that you should all just move on. And, he's telling you that everybody should move on when it's clear that basically every politician, every celebrity, every billionaire is torturing and eating children and drinking their blood. Look, man, I hate making this. I don't like going over this stuff. But again, if I don't share this with you and it doesn't come out in the mainstream media, which they're not talking about it, nothing will ever change. They're doing this slow release because they're testing to see what they can get away with and what you'll comply with. What you'll comply with while still going to work and still paying your taxes and still paying your bills and still paying into this incredibly heinous system without shifting your behavior. Because when evil this dark is confronted and nobody bats an eye, it's permission for them to continue on with it. Just like they did with the virus that they released into the world in 2020. Call me whatever you want. I'm not wrong. I'm just sick and tired of everybody going along with their plan. So as much as we all hating to be confronted with such heinous, disturbing, life-changing facts, it has to be done. And not enough people are talking about this. It certainly isn't on the mainstream media. It's not on the news. And if you're still in the dark and you don't know what adrenochrome is, after I've been trying to tell you for the last 15 years, maybe do a quick search and get yourself up to speed. I'm not here to frighten you. I'm not here to scare you. I'm not here to be gruesome. I'm here to shine a light on what's been going on right in front of your face for thousands of years. And they come right out and they tell you. They just couch it in terms of entertainment and fairy tales. This is happening. Vampires, demons, witches, this shit is all real. And I'll tell you another thing. There's one commonality throughout all of the Epstein files, and it's a complete absence of strong, stoic men. Strong men would never have allowed any of this. The only people listed are scummy, dirtbag, Satan-worshipping pieces of shit. Strong men would never have allowed any of this to go on, and that's why they systematically removed us from society. With world wars that put men on the front line to be massacred. And with a two-tiered justice system that favors feminism over masculinity, and it rips families apart to delete men's roles. It imprisons men for standing up for their daughters. When bizarre lunatics want to take their daughters' trophies, and they want to use their bathrooms, and they want to abuse their children, it destroys lives systematically and strategically for one purpose, which is to eliminate men who would put an end to all of this Zionistic insanity. That is all.